gonna fucking kill you.
You get the most awkward fucking episode ever, rookie card.
I don't care.
It's not my fault. You're a crypto Nazi.
I don't
I'm
care
just pointing
if
it
it's used
out.
against me. I'm looking right in the camera right now. I'm gonna fucking kill this guy. I'm gonna murder him.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Unpopular Opinion.
Hi, Unpopular.
That's not how you talk, Jeff.
That's how I talk.
Don't talk like that.
I talk like this.
Don't
That's
talk
the
like
bit
that.
you're going to choose to begin this landmark episode, Jeff.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Every landmark episode. Bitch.
Well, yeah, that's like
I
starting.
just totally become the guy that's fighting everybody. And fuck you.
It's like starting off the Ich bin ein Berliner speech with like, "Hey, what's up, Russia?" You know, like
It was
that was a good
Germany.
history
I know,
reference right there.
No, it was not really. I fucked
you
it
really
up. I got
nailed
the wrong
that
country.
JFK in East Berlin.
You nailed fucking up the show. That's what you nailed, Jeff.
So that's Connor McSpadden.
Bring it back to. I've been so friendly lately, and I'm. You know what? This has been a lot of pressure because I'm like, do I try to just have a good fun time, or do I come in and be an even bigger piece of shit? Because I told some
feel like we
Pops
never
fans I met in
decide to be a
Minnesota this weekend that this was happening. They're like, nobody wants this to go well. You know?
I do.
I kind of do too. I don't really love getting into big blowout arguments with people.
Neither do I. Randall Maynard.
Oh my god!
Yay!
How is it going? I haven't seen you in 50,000 years.
That's the noise.
We have a button for that.
Yeah, no, I do it also.
Oh, that's yours. We have to pay him every time we hit that button.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
He invented reggaeton horn.
I was hoping you would just take that soundbite and use it in place
Randall
of the
invented
horn.
competitive swimming.
I wasn't done, motherfucker.
Oh, you were for sure not going to say anything interesting, so I kind of did you a favor.
God, it's so great to see Connor.
Oh, it's fantastic.
God. Can we? You know what I? You know what I
this
like?
is really the
You know what's-
Gorbadal and
you know
William
what's-
F. Buckley of podcasting.
You know what's
right
really
here.
great is that people can see now.
I'm
like,
Gorbadal. You're crypto fascist.
This is your version of being dressed up for a show.
Is a
Because
t-shirt and
you look
jeans.
significantly less homeless than the last time I saw
We weren't
you.
live streaming last time, so I did take a shower and put on a Mean Boys shirt to do
Yeah.
a little cross promotion.
We're gonna blur that
to the
out.
live stream.
Because that was one of the most offensive things that's ever happened to me was being slammed for my clothes by a guy who looked like he was like
Well, in my defense, you looked
Crashing
like
on-
you were trying, you know, and I was not trying, and I was like, you were trying, and you came
look
out
at-
like this.
You were like, look at this fancy guy's shirt.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, and Adam, I could tell, is very nervous that he's done a bunch of research only to have the discussion deviate wildly from it.
We're talking about enemies today, so that's fitting.
oh,
Let's
that's
also
good.
add that Randall brought Connor a McRib.
He did.
yeah, how about
A
that?
piece McRib, which
Yeah,
I
I
which
tried-
I had to decline because I thought it was gross.
Yeah, I tried to be chill with Connor, and then he rejected my McRib, and then tried to finish one of my sentences when I was in the middle of speaking.
I got
weren't even on a
I got
fucking
excited
podcast.
to contribute to a conversation and was
you contributed
lambasted for it for
nothing.
no reason. I
You
guess I was
kept
trying to
your
be
streak.
friends with you, you dildo.
You kept your streak of contributing nothing.
Hit a breath. You know, the hardest part of the show for me is the first few minutes. Because I spend all that time asking everyone else what's going on in their life, when all I really want to do is talk about what I've been up to since last week. And that's why we call this segment This Week in Me.
Oh, now people can see how I play the guitar with the.
Oh yeah, with the double breast tickle motion, kind of. I think it's the look on your face.
man.
Yeah. You know what's
Slap it up
great
the ass.
is Adam only gets to pull this one card to derail the argument once, you know? So he's already used up his music drop. For the
I vehemently disagree. I've pulled it 3 or 4 times on episodes before.
Oh, okay. All right. This may be
We
one
did
of
that
those.
episode with Chet and Danger. And
What the fuck were you thinking about that in the first place?
yeah, that one I did the cutoff maneuver at least 3 times because it was a fiasco.
This really does look like the shittiest Yalta conference right here. It's just the three of us.
You made so many, like, I've taken one U.S. history course.
I know, yeah.
References.
Yeah.
This is like the Ich bin ein Berliner sentence.
I promise I wasn't trying to sound smart. I don't think I'm smart, but those were just the things I picked.
I think you're smart.
Who's the Stalin?
who's the Stalin?
I mean, we all know
of this group.
who's known for their Soviet headgear, as we discussed on the last episode. That was one of the few things I did get to, was me shitting on your Che Guevara hat.
I have one of those hats.
Oh my
hat.
God! I forgot about the hat. Yeah, that was your gauge of like a fancy person was just wearing a hat. You're like, look at this.
Look at me. I'm fucking fancy over here.
You guys have created,
Oh, look at
created
this guy.
this
What are you
character
doing?
for
You're
me where
wearing
I'm just
a
so
hat?
blown away
Look
by
at this.
textile goods that I was just like, this guy's got buttons. What does he think? He's better than me?
Yeah.
Here's
You were so mad about like a hat.
I'll
The
read
idea
it.
of a hat.
You were so mad about
I wore
the
this
hat.
I wore this hat.
You know, the hardest part of the show for me is the first few minutes. Anyway, so we should talk about the last episode,
We should.
right? For
We should,
people
of
who
course,
haven't
yeah.
heard the last episode of Unpopular Opinion that was recorded as me being a cracked employee still, the last one
Yeah.
with Brett.
A fitting send-off.
Yeah, it went about as well as that should have gone.
or as how this has gone.
Yeah. And we gathered because Connor had been on a couple times before.
Never really popped. Never really
Yeah.
wowed anybody. I do fine at podcast appearances, but
there was
nothing
one
crazy
time
good.
when people really hated you,
yeah.
and then a second time you were on,
They only
and
kind of hated
you were good. And
Yeah.
I thought, let's have Connor on a third time and get that rehab process finished.
Yeah, you're rebuilding it.
Yeah,
Building your credit score back
and
up.
then
and then fucking I took out a mortgage with no income.
and then we learned what happens when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force.
You know, here's what, from somebody who was listening to it, I was like on tour and I turned it on and I'm listening to it and I was like, oh my God, Connor couldn't not be like a dick to, like you were like I could hear you trying to not be,
Yeah.
and then just like it was like there was like a bad boy button that you just had to press.
It was a situation, and I'll give you my read on it. And then Randall, I kind of want to hear your thoughts. I feel like I tried to apologize a few times, was rebuffed, and decided, well, you know what? If this is already burning to the ground, I may as well throw some lighter fluid on the situation. That's kind of how it went down for me. And people to this day, I still get a couple tweets about it every month. People bring it up to me when they see me out on the road. So, what is the legacy been in your life, Randall?
What has the legacy been in my life?
Of the
not
podcast.
to give it such a lofty fucking thing, but you know what's the reaction been? You know,
I am curious about that. Like, do people ever ask you about that episode?
Oh, I mean, they stopped me on the street, and yeah,
You
they're like,
motherfuckers.
they're like, oh,
people
man.
weren't even excited about this
How
in the
are you
live stream because
guys?
they didn't know what you looked like.
Nobody, yeah, it's it never really nothing happened. It just was.
You never
a
got
stupid
tweets
thing.
about it or
The worst thing that happened was that there was like that devastating news right after that was going to be the last appearance
Oh, yeah.
on the podcast. Like, because I had been on the podcast a few times before then.
You had been on
Fairly like
the
you were like
second
yeah.
most besides Jeff.
Yeah,
at
so
that
like,
point.
and this is my favorite podcast to do.
And instead of bringing you
course.
back on to just
And
catch up with your friends,
see
they
Connor-
decided why not do a big ratings grab for Podcast Sweeps Week and throw you in the Shark Tank with this dude you hate.
Oh, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Sorry.
Okay. I thought it seemed like it was my turn.
Now
to
let me
talk,
tell
but
my
now
thing
you're
right now.
talking. So
Yeah,
I just want
but
to make sure
you know,
that we're
you have to
cool
understand
with
that
it.
people listen to these
That you
after
have
we do them, and they
ADHD, and you
expect
can't
some kind of
stop
entertainment
speaking.
value over them
Can't
instead of you
stop.
just
Can't stop.
incoherently
Cannot
babbling
stop
about nonsense.
speaking.
Why did I do this?
I don't know.
Could've
I
just
don't
had
know,
him on
man.
back-to-back podcasts.
I remember. I distinctly remember getting steamrolled so much that I got so frustrated. It was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to, and I didn't
I'll
want to
take
take
the blame
cheap
for that.
shots because you looked like shit when we were podcasting, and you
look
kept
like shit
commenting
now.
on my clothes. But I mean, and that's what I mean. That's saying something.
Well, there wasn't
Like,
a
you
lot to
look
comment
worse
on
than
because
do
you had
now.
no personality traits to fucking take in and digest. And
We hadn't met. We hadn't even spoken. Like I literally walked in the room and sat down, and then that started.
Within
Like,
5
that's
minutes
how
of meeting me,
that's
you can
your
tell I'm a bad
version.
negative person.
That's your
in 10
version
minutes with you,
of
I got nothing aside from the fact that you
meeting
had
someone.
a cup of tea and a stupid hat. So I had to do what I could with what
What
I
do you
had.
got? So what are you drinking? Is some kind of drink that everybody
Adam brought up
drinks?
the
And you
damn
got a
tea,
hat?
and then I joined him in the tea tirade.
Okay, so here's the thing. We all can agree that Connor is toxic.
Yes, I meant to queue up Britney Spears on my phone to play that every time.
I was
going
gonna
to
say too, like when the apologies came around, it was weird because it looked like there was sort of this sad glimmer of self-awareness that happened that just came over you,
Mm-hmm.
and it was I didn't know what to do with that. I mean, because it's your problem. That's not mine. So I'm not gonna adopt your.
You're not going to act like an
issues.
adult that understands, like, you know,
That you have a
social
mental
interactions
disorder?
and accept an apology and move on because someone misgauged the scenario.
I don't want to make light.
Friends started making fun
I
of you.
don't want to make light of your illness if you have one,
My
but
illness.
it looks like
You're
it's caused
hilarious.
by eating too much corn dogs.
Ooh, what a slam, you guys. You know, the fat guy, Connor McSpadden. You know me, always
No, I mean,
chubby.
it
I
looks
love
like
a
you
good
don't-
fried food on a stick.
I mean,
We all
you're-
like corn dogs, though.
Yeah, it's just that, like, try something else.
You got so profoundly butthurt. And remain to the. It's been a year, Randall. I
I want to make it clear. I don't know you.
You
I
don't.
do not know you. I have no fucking idea who you are. I still have. I want to look. I don't know where the cameras are.
I never pretended to be famous.
There's like 9 cameras over here, and I want to look into all of them. I say I do not know this man. And the first time we spoke, is he just started burning me, and it was horse shit.
Oh, because you're
just
on a
total
comedy
horseshit.
podcast, Randall. This is what happens.
also,
I think you think
usually-
everything's roast battle too. when
It's
you
all-
show up.
yeah, it's
At
like
that time, for
you
sure,
have
and
no-
I've definitely gotten a lot chiller as a person. I think Adam, who sees me more than anyone here, could probably attest to that. Not to put you on the spot about, but yeah, I don't know.
Not to let you talk on your own podcast or anything. But
Adam has been smoking weed and enjoying himself. This
Oh, yeah,
entire-
I'm having a blast.
Adam is just sitting. You were like 8 feet from the microphone. You were just like, I'll let him
I was
go.
mugging into the camera for a bit there.
You were, yeah, you were really.
it was a lot of fun.
I'm super
Selling that
glad
reaction.
I took the middle. By the way,
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it
I'm
was a
like
good
really.
call.
I'm like, you know what? This is good.
Yeah, it's new for Jeff because last time Brett was here and he got to be in the room and I did the smart thing and I also booked I set up a really kind of detail heavy important political type of podcast for tonight, just
Yeah.
like I did last time,
I
which
know.
was it's about Rodrigo Duterte last time.
And Randall, I'm going to try not to cut you off anymore. Okay.
Just cut off Adam. for that.
I didn't say shit about Adam. All right.
No, you cut off Adam to tell me you weren't going to cut me off.
That was pretty great, actually.
That was
pretty great.
classic Connor.
Oh, jeez.
So what are we talking about today?
Enemies.
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 Is that an in-joke?
Maybe we should be talking about enemas for Randall's hurt butt
Connor.
because he's so butt hurt.
Connor.
Yes.
I'm gonna get a fucking spray bottle. And just,
Oh, they dropped the jar of pennies. I'm scared again. Let's talk about dictators.
I had to write. I have to consult my fucking notes here because Adam thinks I'm smart and I know about geopolitics.
Sure,
So
sure,
every
yeah.
time I get one of these emails, I have to do like a shitload of research.
Hey, so
before we
what,
come on.
here's a quick quiz. What part of
Here's
Russia
a-
did the Ich bin ein Berliner speech take place?
Here's something. Why don't you shut the fuck up?
You're just so
You
interruptible.
just
I don't know
love
what it
your
is.
voice. You just love your
Not
own
particularly.
voice.
I think I just hate yours.
So we're talking about enemies today.
Yeah.
starts to die down, and Randall's like, one more thing.
Like a lukewarm, like microwave to overtake about, just saying like, you're like you act like you're a good version of what you are, but then you're actually a poor version of what you are.
So Bakar Mohammed Shakar.
Yeah, that guy. Let's talk about.
No, let's get into the intro because the background of this is interesting.
Well, because here's the thing. We did an episode a couple weeks ago called Coming to Africa. And it was all about how we will definitely be at war in Africa.
Finally.
It was about the
sooner
time we
than
watched that Eddie Murphy movie backwards.
Yeah, exactly. And it,
So you interrupt people when you have something funny to add.
Was that funny because nobody laughed?
Adam chuckled.
That's also fair.
They don't all have to be home runs,
You're like,
but I'm fucking
coming to Africa. That's the reverse of
putting up
coming
shots.
to America.
Yeah. What
Wow,
the fuck did
what
you
a
have
great
to say?
connection.
You just stared there and looked smug.
Huh? Looked smug.
Yeah, you look incredibly smug.
Huh? I wore this hat
Actually,
because
I will say-
I wanted you to. I wore like the douchiest.
Yeah, it's
outfit I
not
could.
it's not the Queen of
to try
Diamonds. I
to,
don't
like-
see a hat and then turn into an asshole. I just
anyway, Bakar Mohammed Shakar. This is the leader of Boko Haram.
You remember from the Bring Back Our Girls campaign that we all forgot about?
That guy. So yeah, I guess I didn't even finish the intro, but yeah, we did an episode about how we will probably be at war with Africa soon. And I did that episode, and then the following Monday, we were in front of Congress lobbying them to expand the 2001 War Authority that covers the Middle East. They want it to cover Africa.
The 2001, that shit is crazy because you realize like they just use that one declaration of war, and by certain powers being associated with one another, they can extend it, and we've just been basically recycling it throughout the years. And I thought it was kind of interesting. I heard Tim Kaine on a podcast, Hillary's running mate, talking about a bill he co-sponsored with, I think, Jeff Flake from Arizona, or I guess it was at the time. He's stepping down now. But just saying that there should be a sunset provision. They should have to be like renewed every 5 years, and kind of his efforts to get like more attention for that. But yeah, it's pretty fucking scary.
Yeah, it is.
You almost wonder if they could use that same. They were lobbying for that under that same declaration in 2001, correct?
Right.
Okay, so yeah, it's like going all the way to Africa, which I understand is part of the Middle East, but it's like, for the love of God, guys, let's.
Sub-Saharan Africa is different, though. I mean, like once you go under the Sahara, like you're way out of Middle East country. Like it's not even.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking more Northern Africa, but
yeah, it's really just. I mean, Egypt, and once you get to like Ghana and Mali and everything like that, that's a totally different world.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I figured we should learn some of the names of the terrorists we'll be hunting down soon.
The unsigned hype list for terrorism. It's like the XXL freshman class.
Yeah. Did you not get that reference?
I didn't get that reference.
Oh, it's a rap thing.
Rap magazine.
Yeah.
Oh,
because every year this rap magazine picks like 12 rappers or something that they think are going to be like on the come up, and you go back to, you see like 93 and it's like Snoop Dogg and Pac, and it's kind of cool. You see them throughout the years.
Yeah. I thought it was The Source, not XXL, though, that did unsigned
I think
hype.
it's XX. Oh, no, The Source did unsigned hype. XXL does the freshman class. Oh. And that's kind of
there it is.
There it is.
Now you all know.
Now everybody knows.
Everyone go subscribe to magazines.
So this guy is the leader of Boko Haram, or Boko Haram. He's described as part theologian, part gangster, which
that's like a Tinder bio.
That sounds
kind of
cool. Yeah.
That'd be like Randall's Tinder bio.
That's everybody that was on death row.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my job title.
Theological gangster.
Yep.
He got really notorious online when video of him laughing about how his group abducted 200 schoolgirls in April 2014 made him one of the most hated men in the world. And it's interesting. This guy comes up. Has anyone seen the Red Pill documentary? Are any of you disgusting men's rights activists?
I have not seen it.
I was going to ask, how does that connect to the MRA? What is?
Well, here's the thing. There is a woman in the Red Pill documentary who is also a men's rights activist. They call themselves honey badgers. And
oh my goodness.
Oh, God.
That's disgusting.
She brings up a really interesting point about Boko Haram, which is that when they abducted those 200 girls, it became really big news and the world was outraged and everyone was really upset. Like a month before that, they set like 200 boys on fire.
Holy shit.
And they were also...
These boys are on fire. Sorry.
They were also students at a school. They were school age, and they have a long history of killing young children, but they don't kill girls.
Like, to what end are they killing children? Are they just?
I mean, they're not killing girls, so they can.
Also,
harvest.
he just said they were setting piles of them on fire. So
yeah,
I'd say
to what ends? Like, what is the
end.
motivation?
It's probably to root out any.
Do I not understand to what end means?
No, you're right.
Yeah, I think I'm correct, and Randall is just picking a point of contention for no reason to try to stir up controversy because maybe he's been the toxic one this entire time.
Whoa,
that's intensity eagle flying through the room.
I mean, they're clearly
get him, winner.
Recruiting wives and victims.
Well, they speculate one of the reasons they finally turned to kidnapping girls was attention. Like they want, like any terrorist group wants some degree of attention from the media and from the public, and they weren't getting it when they were literally setting little boys on fire.
This is a great moment.
I'm trying to figure out like why that was not as controversial. I guess because they weren't still alive. I mean, so you just go like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's just what happens over there.
Here's the thing:
par for the course.
It happened in Africa.
I don't know. Yeah, that's part of it.
That's the big thing that people seem to forget is like when shit goes down in Africa, the Western world doesn't give a.
And who better qualified to talk about it than us? Honestly,
Perry is like recently commented about Africa and didn't acknowledge that there were like individual countries or anything. He just called. He said, "I was in Africa."
Well, Africa has gold and oil.
Did he do air quotes on it?
Did you do air quotes on my dick, you fucking piece of shit?
I was curious. I was curious if he actually did air quotes.
God,
this was a
damn it.
legitimate question. I was not chastising you.
Off.
God, you're sensitive. You fucking you human clitoris, Randall. You are just a bundle of nerve endings. You're a powder keg. Perfectly measured, reasonable man.
Human clitoris was amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty.
What
good.
I like to imagine is the terrorist PR department. It's like, did you send out the press release about the 200 boys? I did. We're getting nothing. All right,
Nobody
Vox
cares.
Vox is just running with this fucking Weinstein shit. All right, you know what? Let's get the school bus. Like,
There is a $7 million reward for his capture. If anyone's in the market for capturing terrorists,
Doesn't seem like a lot for somebody who's done this much.
no, it's really not.
but it's like, how much extra money does Africa have?
yeah, if it's in Africa, and
They
it's $7
literally
million.
control the majority of the
$7 million.
gold and diamond trade.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Yeah.
almost
They-
all precious metals and stones come from Africa.
But it's the thing of
Yeah.
like, well, they also get fucked on mineral rights and stuff by like,
Yeah.
enterprising Westerners. But how many
mean
stories
like
do
De
you
Beers,
see
yeah.
about like countries in Africa where like things are going great? Like you don't see a lot of that. So I don't imagine they have a huge cash surplus for bounties.
Yeah,
but
it's
that
very
could
rare.
be me being ignorant. I don't
It's
know.
very rare that you just hear of an African nation that's just doing well.
Chad killing it.
I had a student.
Weird that there's so few white guys in the Republic of Chad.
I had a student who was pretty sure his dad was working for a warlord in Zimbabwe. When Zimbabwe was going through shit in like 2011, 2012. One of my students, he was from London via Zimbabwe. And he's like, my dad goes over to Africa to work for like months at a time and then comes back and like, that's how our bills are paid. And then he's like, I think he works for a warlord. Because that was when Zimbabwe was going through some shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's crazy.
Maybe.
He's like, he brings home all these like $800 million bills that are worth nothing.
Yeah.
Oh
Because
wow!
of like how like the economy was all fucked up.
So covered in like, Chipotle sauce and shit.
yeah, bunch of shrunken heads.
So making blocks out of Confederate money.
Currency.
Oh, that's you. You go up to a vending machine and you're like, oh, I got to put the shrunken head in the other way. It's so annoying.
It's one of those.
It's like one of those toss games.
Yeah.
Oh, Africa sounds fun.
Yeah.
Big Meek said he's on his way to Africa, and it frightens me what his intentions are.
Yeah, that I don't want to know.
Trump voter going to Africa. Nothing good. Nothing good happening there.
Yeah.
Mineral rights activist. Very nice to know.
Yeah, that came up on that podcast also, that the first German death camp was actually in Africa.
No kidding.
Yeah, they beta tested that shit.
Was that like
in-
kind of like around Rommel's shit?
Namibia.
Because didn't he fucking run everyone around Africa?
No,
was
but
like
Rommel was just a
40
It was
tanks?
pre-Hitler.
Pre-Hitler. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Rommel was just military guy. He wasn't like.
Yeah, because he was actually kind of against that.
Yeah,
shit,
he
from
was
my
not a fan
understanding.
of the whole purity. I mean, he probably bought into it a little.
Yeah, I don't
But,
know
like,
a ton about what he did. I just know he fucked around
The
with tanks in the
Desert Fox.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking Desert Fox kid.
There's two Bostons that are just reminiscing about Nazi history. I tell you, the Beer Hall Putsch kid, that shit was bananas.
Dude, I'm telling you what, man, if it wasn't for the Balfour Declaration, we would have never made it this way.
Oh, Connor and Jeff went to school.
Connor, listen.
Nazi
to
school.
I was like trying to not to mention that that's a bit on Dana Gould's podcast about two
Oh, it
guys
is.
from
It is.
Boston
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about shit, and I was like,
You're
ooh.
right. That's
Oh.
that's
You're
more
just gonna
political
you're
talk
just gonna
than
crib
history
from
talk.
Dana Gould.
I've
That's cool.
never listened to that podcast before.
Oh,
I
That's too
actually
bad.
have.
Dana
I just
Gould
didn't
is
connect
awesome.
it.
He is.
I have not listened to it because I don't listen to
I think he records at Nerdist on Mondays.
Okay. I still don't care.
Well, I see him there a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
You see, this is what friends do. They give each other a little gentle ribbing, because everyone's a grown up, and
He
we know
gave
that
us.
We're not
gentle
friends.
Mick
words
ribbing.
don't
We're
need
not
to be
fucking
taken literally.
friends.
Not with that attitude,
What the
Randall.
fuck is the matter
Not
with you?
that attitude.
That's
we could have been.
should we talk about? Let's talk about Coney.
Oh, were we done with that guy?
Well,
Because I'm always interested in that hasn't been seen in public for a long time.
Yeah,
because
that-
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi only appeared in public once, and he's just like, "Hey guys, I'm real. Goodbye." Like,
yeah, this guy has the way he's important to us. We've literally tried to assassinate him a time or two, and we keep thinking he's dead, and then he just shows up again like fucking Tupac.
kind of like when I
putting
sent
out-
Randall those cigars around Christmas time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is exactly
And
like
that scuba suit that was lined with lead.
How would you even put it on?
Yeah. No, they remember that shit about the Castro assassinations where they just gave him he loves scuba diving, so they just gave him a scuba suit like lined with like malaria or some shit. And he was like, pretty sneaky, U.S.
That is pretty sneaky.
The creative ways of trying to kill Castro were always very fun.
Yeah. And when we always thought Bin Laden was dead, but then he kept driving he'd be like, okay, fine, like, take out the webcam, I'll make another video.
Yeah, that's kind of this guy. He just keeps showing up in internet videos that are put out by the group's Public Enlightenment Department.
Oh, that's creepy. That's some 1984 ass shit.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
I'm always kind of, because a lot of these people seem like they don't provide a lot of like tactical leadership or anything. It's almost just that they have this figure that everyone wants that they can prove is still alive, and that inspires people to join the movement. I almost think that's like the value in it, really.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing with this guy.
Like Katniss.
Yeah, Katniss Everdeen.
Who's Katniss? You
don't know Katniss Everdeen?
I don't know.
From Hunger Games?
I haven't seen or read.
You know what? Now I fucking hate you.
Yeah, I guess that book didn't hit you at the right time to be a teen who had a reason to read it, or a creepy old dude who really didn't. But
yeah,
second one for me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I feel like I could have put that together.
Fuck you.
Joseph Kony.
Let's talk about
Kony 2012.
Can I admit that I thought Kony wasn't real? I thought he was just a.
Well, that's the thing.
Like a really evil hot dog vendor.
Like who's the what's the Andy Kaufman alternate persona?
Tony
Clifton. Yeah.
Tony Clifton.
I just watched Man on the Moon the other night.
Yeah.
How was it?
Have you ever seen it?
No.
Oh, it's really good.
Okay.
Theater. Did you?
Oh, I thought he was just like a persona that people took, like it was like a mythological thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's a Kony.
Well, there's a chain of pizza places in LA called Kony, King of New York. And
is it really?
And they go by Kony.
How have I not seen that?
And like their website is like www.Kony something, and I'm just like, do you want to update that shit? Like,
abduct the kids over to Kony's for a great evening in the arcade. Extra cheese.
Well, this was like a huge documentary that went. It was like a YouTube documentary.
The day this shit dropped, afterwards at community college was lit with Kony posters. That shit was everywhere, and I was like, "What is this? This is some fucking." I don't know. I wasn't on Twitter or anything. I didn't read the news. I was a fucking 19-year-old dipshit, and I'm just like, Kony 2012 everywhere, and I went and looked it up, and then it was gone like a week later. Everyone was just like, fuck it.
Yeah, they covered that on Channel 1 on the Channel 1 news.
Really, Randall?
Wait, what did he do?
Burped.
Oh.
Did you have Channel 1 when you were a kid?
I do what I want.
I didn't. I'm uncultured, Jeff.
Did you guys
win.
have Channel 1?
Channel 1 was just static. Right?
I didn't have Channel 1 either. I've heard you describe it before, but I never had it.
Channel 1's a British thing, right?
Channel 1 exists.
Channel 1 is a news program for middle school and high school kids. And what it is when you sign up for the program, they actually furnish you with the televisions. So they actually install TVs into schools to air Channel 1. Mm-hmm. And then what they would do is they would make a ton of money on advertising. They'd advertise M&Ms and shit like that or whatever.
Yeah.
And then so what they did...
It's where you want that stuff advertised.
Well, that's like the price you pay for a school to get
free
200 TVs.
Yeah.
Like it's like a fucking really good deal.
The Desert Eagle 50 caliber.
And they covered the Kony thing in depth.
Chesterfield cigarettes.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Kony bankrolled Channel 1.
Yeah, they covered the Kony thing.
Pro Kony though.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they covered the Kony thing.
Do you guys hate your parents too? Like
weird. Yeah, I never
ever wish you had a machine gun and a cool new dad.
Yeah, I never looked into it because almost as soon as it started going around, people were like, "Oh, that's bullshit."
Ain't no bedtimes in the jungle.
He's already disbanded, blah, blah, blah. Nope. But not really. Like, he still exists, and he's still a guy.
He's like Smash Mouth. Like, they're putting out new albums. You just haven't paid attention to them, you know?
Like, he's still a guy that fucking enslaved thousands of kids and forced them to become soldiers.
And that Vice doc was his all-star, you know?
Yeah.
He's doing county fair.
What was the that Idris Elba Netflix movie? That was
Beast of No Nation.
Is that about him specifically, or was that about?
I don't think so.
I heard that was really good.
Yeah, that's great.
It was nominated for Best Picture, wasn't it?
I think it was one of those ones that got snubbed. I think that was during the Oscars So White year, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah. Pretty much.
So Kony.
And sorry to all those people that had to listen to
Kony.
Talk about fucking casinos on the freeway.
Is he from the Congo?
He is
from the lost city of Z.
He right now is in the the Central African Republic, I think is what it's called. But he's in the South Sudan Democratic Republic of Congo area, which is one of the reasons I could see his name coming back, because those are the two countries that Nikki Haley went to on the grounds that we have to solve the humanitarian crisis there. When, if you listen to the podcast a couple weeks, it's not that. It's that China's trying to set up deals that we need to somehow get in there and cut these deals off, and we need to be the people to set up those deals.
Yeah.
So
Get a rumble in the jungle too.
that's what it's going to be. And
That's where it happened.
I wouldn't be.
It's called Zaire back then.
Now it's just called the jungle.
Yeah.
You're in the jungle, baby.
They just
You're gonna die.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you are if you're in Zaire.
That,
You're probably-
Axl
kind of
Rose
interesting.
made a better observation in that song than Connor did about those
why does it
freeway
have to
casinos.
keep-
Why are you doing this?
It's like the fire's almost out, and then a fucking spark goes onto a pile of leaves.
Let's talk about Omar Hassan Al-Bashir.
See, what I was hoping would happen with this episode is that we would talk about the stuff and just never,
Like the Jack episode.
just kind of just go through it and keep moving.
That would be funny, but that would be so disappointing to everybody.
That's why it's funny.
It would,
Oh, yeah,
it would be
we-
like, when are we going to get to the fireworks factory? Is basically
That's
how that would play
how
out.
the Jack episode was. We
Oh,
just
yeah?
had Jack on and didn't even
Really acknowledge
that there was anything to talk
But
about.
what could you?
So Omar Hassan Al-Bashir.
This guy, I've heard of this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
this
too.
guy.
Well, all these names in the notes were like, I've heard of these people.
People are saying this guy is almost as bad as Randall. Am I right? Pretty close, but Randall's still far worse.
What is wrong with you?
Oh God, I'm sorry. Did you say something?
That was good. I was in bed.
Why is this happening? Yeah, because
You literally booked me.
Oh, because I
for the
booked it. Yeah,
podcast.
that's right. I forgot. My fault.
Yeah,
You're the victim here, Adam. I know.
I am. So Al-Bashir, he is the leader of Sudan, and he is accused, among other things, of genocide and all the good dictator stuff. He seized power in a coup in 1989. And there was one civil war already happening when he took power, and he signed a deal to end that in 2005, and then another one immediately started up in Darfur, and
Where it was Welcome to the Jungle. Now, we don't need your civil wow.
you're going a little obscure with the Guns N' Roses.
Well, the thing
references
about
now.
it is, with Boko Haram, they looked at those girls and said, you could be mine.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So you get that.
You know what I call the last Randall
Crushing
Connor
it.
episode is the
Crushing it,
spaghetti
yeah.
incident, because it was messy or something. I don't know a lot of GNR, dude.
I can't see it. Maybe you need to use your illusion better.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'll say it every time. I love that in a very limited sound board capacity, you've decided the Howard Dean scream needs the prime real estate.
Absolutely.
Hey, you got to have patience to do something like this. You know what I mean?
God damn it.
Okay.
What? Don't cry.
Oh.
You got anything else?
Oh, no. Is anyone here named Michelle? No. Or are they all just a bunch of Mr. Brownstones?
Oh man, I don't even know any of these songs, but I can tell when you get pleased with yourself and you've incorporated one into the chat.
Hope it doesn't rain when I step outside.
I'm so
Because it's
uncomfortable in here.
November.
It's so uncomfortable. I feel like I'm walking on the sun. I'm just gonna do it with Smash Mouth.
You might as well be walking on the sun.
Oh, Randall, I
didn't even
can't
get
get
the
enough of
reference.
you, baby.
Randall's trying to disconnect the dots.
No, you got it wrong.
I know you're
Oh,
all,
I've got it wrong. Everybody, drop the mic.
you're both a couple of all
That's not why you don't drop the mic when you get it wrong. Everything you're saying is wrong.
No, I don't think that's true at all.
I'm a believer that we can get started on this.
Very nice. So
he seized power in a coup in 89. The thing in Darfur, he is accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity there. If you read through the list, it's all the stuff: rapes, genocide, all the hits.
They call it an African full house.
Yep. everything you expect.
It's funny. I'm picturing, like looking over college, like submissions, and it's like, well, I see you have a perfect LSATs. Your SATs are flawless. Your written submission was very compelling, beautiful. What makes you think you can be the next Osama bin Laden? Because all these guys, like, it's just like, yeah, I lit 200 girls on fire, and it's like, oh yeah, I started a civil war after I ended the first one, mostly so I could start the second one.
Yeah.
I like how he's described as hot-headed, like there are warlords that are even-tempered.
Yeah, a cool, collected. Gustavo Fring might be considered even-tempered, but he's fictional.
Really
so
he's fictional. He's not a warlord either.
Yeah,
he's kind of a warlord.
No, he wasn't really.
Maybe a minor czar. Czar is like a tier.
He was a
Minor
drug czar. Yeah.
Are we talking about Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot that Gustavo
That
Fring
happened in
wasn't
New Mexico,
real.
not Africa.
New Mexico. The
Same
show,
shit, you guys.
Come
on. You remember when Reagan gave the tear down this wall speech in Albuquerque, right?
A lot of stuff got torn down in Albuquerque.
Mr. White, tear down this podcast.
He's described as quite hot-headed, prone. Well, before we get to one thing I love, he's won re-election in 2010 and 2015, all while having international warrants issued for his arrest. If that's
Come and get him.
Yeah, that's the best presidential scandal ever.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. That's like having 5 stars in GTA and becoming the mayor.
I don't play video games. But yeah, he's described as quite hot-headed, prone to angry outbursts, especially when he feels like his pride's been wounded.
Does that remind you of anybody? I don't know. It's odd
to live in a country with a leader like that. Oh,
it's shitty to be in a room podcasting with one. I mean, I'll just say that much.
He also mostly keeps power because his opposition is way too divided to mount any kind of good response.
See, it's sort of like how Sauron maintains his control over Mordor because of the warring elves and the dwarves. They couldn't get together. But then when you have a fellowship to do it, that's when you see that friendship is what leads to creating something wonderful, guys.
Dude, my axe.
What?
And my sword.
And my shitty remarks.
It would be
we're
the bow.
doing references.
I guess we're doing a Lord of the Rings thing.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I don't fuck with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I'm to Tom
Don't
Bombadil
fuck with
or
Lord of the
whatever.
Rings. Let me tell you what.
I don't.
Good.
Imagine if me and Randall had to like save a kingdom or some
Imagine
shit
if
together.
we were stuck in the same room together.
Only 2 people
and
that have
we
the
weren't
ability to take the
friends,
ring to Mount Doom.
and we had to.
Yeah, I want
Looks
you
like
to
I got a Legolas and Gimli over here, you know?
I myself am sitting pretty on 43.
43.
Oh, God. You
Classic,
know what I'm saying?
Just a road trip movie where
They get it.
Yeah.
They get it.
classic leg in the G.
Yeah, we need to write a buddy
Leg
cop
in
movie.
the G.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I like that a lot.
Come on.
You know what we could honestly do that I think might actually help this situation? I think me and Randall should just record a PSA together and say we might not agree on everything, but you guys should stand up and exercise a little bit of legislative oversight for your dictator.
I agree.
How about some oversight for my
Here it comes.
dick? You fucking shut your fucking mouth.
What? Me throwing out a good idea, a funny riff,
I
and a
wasn't
compliment to you,
I
and you
wasn't-
just went, suck my dick or whatever.
That's
is
not what I said.
Qualifies
First of
for
all,
comedy
I
at
didn't say that. I
the
just
like
third-rate
the-
I just
online
don't- I
aggregator
wasn't
that I work
listening.
for.
It's like the ghost of
listening.
Connor.
You
has-
have, wait,
aggregator.
Connor, you have a job?
I don't have a job. I'm unemployed, friends.
I know. I was like, you are not a man who looks like you can maintain employment.
No, I'm funny enough that people from wide
You look like
walks
okay,
of
hold
life
on. You
give
look
me
like
enough
you've
money
been.
to
You look
survive.
like you've been
Where's the
paid
eagle?
for to be funny like maybe 3 times.
It took you long enough to hit intensity,
Nope,
Eagle.
it happens all the time.
I feel like
doing just fine.
it seems
Thank
like
you.
Randall has been possessed by the ghost of Connor or something.
I know.
It's weird.
But he retained none of my joke
can't-
writing
you
or
can't
delivery acumen,
out-Connor
and he got all the shitty energy with no ability to act upon it in a productive manner.
if you would have eaten my McRib, things might have gone.
That's true.
I'm not eating anything you give me, buddy. I'm gonna make Jeff take a bite first. I'll tell you that much.
You ain't getting it back if I take a bite out of that thing.
Yeah.
No,
So
that-
Mokhtar Bel Mokhtar, huh?
yeah.
How about that name right off the bat?
Yeah, that's like being like Dougie Doug.
Yeah, Mokhtar Bel Mokhtar.
He's the Dougie
like
Doug of.
I think that's how you say the N-word in Klingon.
I hope so.
Mokhtar Belmokhtar, the great thing about him is he's straight out of a Bond movie.
Yeah, this guy
But
is
like if they allowed black people to be villains in Bond movies.
right. Well, sure.
It's not Baron Samdi.
I mean,
I feel like
you
it's
mean
almost
aside
worse
from
to have a black
Live and
villain.
Let Die?
You want to have a black Bond
Baron
take down a white
Samedi,
villain.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about a black Bond? I think it'd be sick.
Oh yeah,
I want
think
Idris Elba to do it.
Idris
right?
Elba should be the
Yeah,
next
it would be
Bond.
great.
I like how everyone just decided to nominate him, and he was just like, I don't fuck.
It was like the
fuck
Donald
off.
Glover Spider-Man thing. You know,
He
someone
wanted
wrote it-
that though.
Well,
Yeah, he
Donald
did.
Glover wanted that. Well, yeah,
I don't know
but
if he started
Idris
that or just
Elba.
leaned into it.
There's always one actor at any given time where we're like, that's the next James Bond.
And everyone's always like, they just nominate him for every black guy role.
No,
Or like,
well,
and not even a black guy role. They're just like, you know who would be good for anything? Idris Elba. It's
'cause
like,
he's
fucking-
dope.
Yeah, he's great. But that doesn't mean you have to nominate him for James Bond all the time. Like, I'm sure it would be fine, but like,
Sounds like you're uncomfortable with a black James Bond.
yeah, it
no,
sounds.
that's not.
Ooh.
Someone thinks they're going to be Bond someday.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get back to Mokhtar
I'll
Belmokhtar.
tell you where the eagle is. It's going to Africa. Let's hear about it, Adam.
This guy's got the best nicknames. One of them is One Eye. Can
Why?
you guess? Can you guess why they call him One Eye?
Because he's a dick.
Oh, damn. All right, dude. Fuck yeah.
It's because he's got one eye.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not to make light of well, but this guy has one eye, not Connor. I said that we this guy's other nickname, Mr. Marlboro.
Ooh.
Not the
Where is
Marlboro
that?
Man.
No, well, there's already a Marlboro Man. He wants to be Googleable. I'm
But
assuming.
it's about time we have a black Marlboro Man. If we can have a black James Bond, we can have a black Marlboro Man.
This
Wait,
guy
that's a
understands
good
two
point.
things. That's child soldiers and SEO.
Yeah, he cared enough about not overlapping with the Marlboro Man. Like he was like, no, I don't want to.
I don't want to violate anything.
He's like,
Yeah, don't want to step on any toes.
they
right?
are.
we don't know that he gave himself the nickname.
You don't fuck with R.J. Reynolds or whoever the.
Mr. Marlboro Man, bro.
I like how we turned him Armenian.
I call him like Colonel Smokes or something.
Colonel Smokes is good.
Yeah.
But he's called Mr. Marlboro because he funds his jihadist activities. I don't know why.
He just pulled out the finger guns, man.
His old pew pew jihads.
Yeah, when you talk jihadist activities,
It's just a
wanna get
bunch of
those
firing
finger
old
guns
timey
going.
pistols.
All
in the air.
Yosemite Sam on it.
He funds those activities by selling tobacco illicitly. In like, I don't know if
Is he in 8th grade?
is it illegal?
What is he, Randall?
I still.
What?
Oh, because his immature humor earlier, which I don't care for. I like only like the fine
equivalent of
jokes.
selling tobacco.
Yeah.
He's like, I stole this carton from my grandma.
Yeah, he sells tobacco.
I got a couple of slaves done fell off the truck.
Also, not sure if I mentioned One Eye.
Yeah.
Great is that? That's
Fucking
pretty
dope.
cool.
And he fought. He was in Rambo 3, right?
Yeah, yes,
guy
he fought in Afghanistan against the Soviets. So
Boy, we really created
Real
some
training
fun
ground
stuff
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Then this guy is probably not going to be that hard for Black James Bond to take down. He has no depth perception, you know?
It's not like they're playing
a good point.
You
basketball.
just channel him
against each
to
other.
a game
No,
of
I don't
darts.
think any of Bond's villains have both eyes.
This is a good point, actually.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Le Chiffre.
I'm actually just thinking of
Cheating, right?
supporting characters from Austin Powers because I haven't seen a lot of James Bond. I assume they're based on James Bond guys, so it's close enough.
Yeah, well, his Blumfeld was Dr. Evil, right?
Yeah. But he had both eyes.
Bumfeld? What's
Like a
that?
scar.
Blofeld.
Oh, okay. Bumfeld.
Blofeld, you fucking idiot.
Jesus, Connor. So
One Eye, or as they call him, Mr. Smoky Pants. He gets his bad guy money from selling the cigarettes.
we get Randall.
He's got one eye, right? That's one of the things about him. As of October 2016, his wife claims he's still alive and well. So I guess we're just going to the wife. It's like when you can't get a hold of him, you talk to the missus.
Yeah, we've tried to kill him a few times, and we.
That's a reliable source, though.
Well, yeah, he said.
Yo, my woman knows where I am. Am I right? Who beats your kid?
People have said he's dead a few times, and then he also keeps coming back. He wages.
Doesn't he come back in like big sunglasses and stuff though? So like you can't tell if it's him.
Yeah.
When you thought the Ultimate Warrior died and then he came back, but you were like, is it a different guy?
Is it really him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like that.
Yep.
One thing I left out: he wages his jihad under the name the Signed in Blood Battalion.
Worst Stevie Wonder song.
So, Mokhtar Belmokhtar, the Stephen Ellis.
Whoa, dude. All right, that's not cool. Sorry.
Stephen Ellis, who was an academic at the African Studies Center in Leiden in the Netherlands, says of Mokhtar, he is one of the best-known warlords in the Sahara.
This sounds like when
we'll know about him soon.
Yeah, we got to do Your Voice Matters.
You know, it's a big world out there. It's easy to feel like the things you say don't even fucking matter. I want you to know that's not true.
Unless you're Randall.
True.
Unless you're Randall, then it's very true.
We call this segment Your Voice Matters, where we read your stupid fucking comments from the past few shows and respond to them personally.
Pierre Stanley.
Faded out, Brett. Rest in peace, Brett. He's died since the last episode.
R.I.P. Pour some out for Brett.
Brett's dog is my favorite dog, aside from Winter Soldier.
Whoa, excuse me?
I'm going to edit Randall out of this podcast.
Yeah, you know.
Brett has a great dog named Biggie.
That's a pretty great name.
That's right.
What about my cats?
Randall, would you ever like to be loved by something? Do you think that's
Randall has a really good cat.
I have a great cat, and I'm engaged. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Shout out to Marissa.
Yeah, thank you.
Mazel tov to you and you and your fiance. Good luck.
Fuck you.
That was nice.
It was nice. Technically, I said it with a shitty tone, but none of the content was actually negative.
I like the comment, "In Brett we trust." I just want to throw that out there.
Here's a comment.
We should say, because this will probably pass the edit point, we're reading comments from the last Connor Randall episode.
Yes.
From about a year ago.
Yeah, 1 year ago. I'm going to get, this is, how is this not a movie yet? Is that your name? You must be a fucking podcast.
I believe it's at How Is Not a Movie on Twitter.
Oh, okay. I'm going to guess Jack O'Brien, misspelled, listened to this episode and fired Adam Todd Brown on the spot. Pretty sure everyone told you having Toxic Connor on the show was a bad idea.
And also hashtag Toxic Connor.
Hashtag Toxic
They spelled
Connor.
my name wrong, too. How hilarious would it be if that was the reason?
You let that piece of shit on here.
I would have fucking killed myself. I would have felt so bad.
That would have been pretty great.
Yeah.
No, it would have been fun.
Locrius says, I think from now on, either Connor or Randall should be a surprised guest whenever the other is on.
Well, it took a year, but we got to you, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Was it a surprise?
Just have one come in and hit the other with a chair. I like it.
Wouldn't we like that?
Man.
Lee Kinsella said, I immediately subscribed to the Mean Boys podcast after this episode was over, just saying, Randall, please learn how to take a joke. To which Randall Maynard replies a year ago, take a dick.
Oh, fire, dude.
That's a good dismount, actually. I like that.
Yeah, that was good.
Newark is a no-go zone for Connor. Unpops live in NYC. About 20 wild Puerto Ricans rolling through. Connor is doing the show. Don't fly EWR. I put that on Brett. What the fuck are you talking about? I think you want to be tough guy dildo.
I don't know what happened with this guy. Used to comment all the time.
We read he was the original Toxic
until we started charging.
Well, no. At one point, Vanessa Gritton really gave him a tongue lashing. When we were
he was talking about catcalling women and how he thinks it's okay. And
she
was like,
"Wait, who was the cat caller?"
This
Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, this guy.
So people that hate me like catcalling.
I do believe he's also the reason we say the hood fucks with unpops.
Yeah.
So maybe the hood doesn't fuck with unpops anymore, but yes, they do.
Oh, I like this.
I want to read this next comment.
Oh,
it
please.
says, Randall comes off as a bit of an ass clown here. Laugh a little, you douchebag. I laugh all the time, and I am an ass clown.
That guy's name is Cuck.
Sung Cuck.
What a comeback, Randall. You should have just told him to take a dick.
So Andrew Fedge says, Connor seriously comes off like a dick. I understand roasting, but you still need punchlines. He was just ripping people for nothing and just trying to drive a wedge onto any and every sound break. It wasn't funny. It didn't work. Please, let's not try this again. Well, fuck you, Andrew. We just tried it
If I may, suck a dick.
And it went worse.
I disagree.
I think this was a little more fun. Jeff here is great. We need as much buffer as possible.
I just like, ooh.
And I could barely get any buffer. Yeah.
This is like when you're like seeing an ex-wife at a party. It's like, all right, if there's 100 people, it'll be fine.
Fuck Connor, LOL.
This is what happens when Jeff isn't on the show to threaten someone with violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
look at that.
Ooh, fuck.
Brett's hat joke made me laugh out loud on public transport. Looks like I can never take the bus again.
Not how the bus works.
Edit that out, Brett. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Well, we should. What do we have to plug before we? This goes up this week, so now when I plug the Darkest Hour, it makes sense.
When's the Darkest Hour, Adam?
It is November 10th, Jeffrey, at West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica at 11:30 p.m. You know what would be great?
You know what?
Is if there was another comedy show happening that same night that people could go to.
Adam.
No, just hear me out.
I'm about to blow your mind.
Okay.
Blast from the Past is the second Friday of every month, and this month that is November 10th, the same day. You ready for this? As the Darkest Hour.
Oh my God! So it's like people could go see your show.
They could see our show. The show starts at 7:30. Doors open at 7.
Right.
They can go to Blast from the Past in beautiful Magnolia and Burbank. Right.
Stunning.
Watch the show.
Watch it.
Leave with a comfortable enough buffer.
So much time.
Arrive in Santa Monica. You could maybe get a snack from the Slinging Korea food truck outside of Blast from the Past, or you could go to some place on the 3rd Street Promenade before
The Darkest Hour.
Yeah.
And then come see me tell jokes at the Darkest Hour.
Yeah.
I'm headlining this month.
Also, Wednesday, November 15th, I'll be at Bark at the Barclay. I don't know where that is yet. I just got booked for it this morning, so
Very nice.
I know, I'll let you know.
You can listen to me and Adam on Conspiracy the Show on the Unpops Network.
You sure can.
Weekly episodes. 2 of them are free a month. 2 of them you got to pay for on the Patreon. Check those out. I also got a little show called the Mean Boys Podcast. Scripted comedy, entertainment in your ears 5 times a month. We have a Patreon as well with bonus content, which is a table reading of our Karnak and Tyler Dawson TV pilot. That probably doesn't mean a lot to most of you, but some of you might think it's kind of cool. You can see me at the Madhouse Comedy Club in San Diego, California, 11, 24, and 25. Also, headlining the Kreuzberg Cafe in San Luis Obispo on December 8th, and headlining the Rec Room Comedy Club in Huntington Beach December 12th. Oh, and I mentioned the Ventura Harbor Comedy Club, which is a surprisingly fun place. It's just a bunch of old white people in boats, but they're just all like fucking crazy and fun. So that's December 22nd and 23rd. I'd love to see some of you, see you guys out there, and I will hang out with you if you want afterwards for just about as long as you want. So let me know you're coming.
That was boring.
It was boring, but yeah, I did my best to do it quickly.
We nailed it.
Yeah, we killed it.
Yeah, you guys vamped
really
a
good.
lot.
Hey, Randall, honey, wake up.
Oh yeah.
Randall, do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, I'm writing and doing a bunch of stuff for a branch off of the Cracked site called Cracked. What the hell is happening now? You can find it on Facebook.
What?
And
edit that out, Brett.
Check me out on Twitter at Randall Maynard because I got a link to my YouTube channel. Aside from all my sweet tweets that I got going on, those sweet hot tweets.
You know what's funny? I do think Randall is pretty funny on Twitter.
All those sweet hot tweets. Go to my YouTube channel. Shut the fuck up. And
what do you do on YouTube?
Subscribe to my YouTube channel because I got a new short film coming out soon.
Oh, a new short film. That's cool.
And it's pretty cool.
Nice.
And it's
cool.
Probably more creative and more effort than you've ever put into anything you've ever done.
No, I try incredibly hard on all the
I love
projects
doing
I'm
that
involved
Spider-Man video that we did with you.
Yeah, it was
The
a
Lost
I love
Avenger.
doing that video that we.
We're gonna do an awesome short film together one day, Adam. Scrappy.
Yeah.
Let's get the fuck out of here. This was fun. Randall, say goodbye.
I love you.
Connor, say goodbye.
Randall is a crypto Nazi.
Jeff, say goodbye.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
You get the most
I
awkward
don't care.
fucking
I don't
episode
care.
ever, rookie.
I don't
It's
care
not
if
my
this
fault
is
you're a
used
crypto
against
Nazi.
me.
It's-
I don't
I'm
care
just
if
pointing
this
it
is used
out.
against me. I'm looking right in the camera right now. I'm gonna fucking kill this guy. I'm gonna murder him.
Goodbye, everybody. We love you.
We love something.